Okay, so today's a new day. It is a Friday morning here. That's usually a really busy day when you head up from Redding into the mountains. Look where we're parked, right on the highway. We're at a place called Hatchet Creek today. And this is a place that only locals know about. Reason being, most people that are gonna go up to the mountains are gonna go to the Pit River, they're gonna go to Hatchet Creek, they're gonna go to Burney Creek, Bomb Lake, places up there that are real tourist traps. So we're gonna show you guys a place where if you live in Redding, you live in Anderson, you live in Cottonwood, any of those places around that area, it's an easier, shorter drive for you that isn't going to be overloaded with tourists. So we're going to head down to the creek right now and show you how easy it is to access this creek. And it's a real simple place to fish. Beautiful water clarity, good quality, and lots of rainbow trout. All right, so you guys know we're in Northern California. You know what everybody uses. Everybody uses Pautzke Green Label, and they use premium salmon eggs. We're doing something different. We're using Orange Deluxe. Reason being, we're trying to show these fish something they haven't seen before. Now take a look at what we have here. It is it's about 8:30 in the morning, and you see the sun line right now. Okay, there's this bobber coming through this hole. It is so bright out here that we think all the fish are in here on that shade line. So we're going to try to cast right in on that shade line and see if we can see a trout right like that come out and grab the bait. Now we swung and missed, but as you know, that happens in fishing. But these Orange Deluxe are getting them to bite. Sometimes just showing them a little bit of a different color presentation. And the red eggs may work as well. We haven't tried those yet. We're just trying to be proactive and show them something they haven't seen, because while this is a place that doesn't get hit by a ton of tourists, it does get hit by locals. And as you can see the bridge right there, Hatchet Creek is very easy to spot. So we're going to throw it right into that shade line again. And look at that, fish on. Okay, so they're not all monsters, but they are beautiful rainbows. And one after another, we'll be able to pull them out. That is not the biggest fish, but
much bigger fish.
There are bigger ones in there. All right, good cast right in that slot. Look at the fish going crazy over those eggs. There it is.
There we go.
Fish on. Just like that. He got him. Hopping fish. Get him in the net. There we go. All right, if we can get a good cast like that, it's going to be fish on. Watch that bobber. Bam!
There we go, baby. Go.
Just like that.
Let's go, baby.
Just like that.
Woo!
Pretty California rainbow. That's a state stock fish. And we're about to get some more. All right, one thing we want you guys to realize is we can't see these trout. When we first walked up here, the trout are not sitting in an open area. They're not in a very obvious zone. We only figure this out by making casts and watching them come out. Now, there is a very slim margin of error. If you don't make that cast right here, you're not getting bit. So we're gonna see if Mitch can get a good cast. Because if he does, he will get bit, and I think that's a good cast.
There we go. We got one.
A lot of you guys are probably wondering, why in the heck is he using a bobber? We're using a bobber for several reasons. One, it's getting us a perfect drift and not getting us hung up at all. But two, the more important factor is we are not keeping any fish today. So by using that bobber, we see the strike instantly, and you see the bobber go down, and you're able to set the hook right away, hook the fish in the mouth, and we can get that fish released for somebody else to catch almost instantly. Just got to get it right on the inside or they're not eating it. And that's held true for our real eggs. Look at this cast. Just like that. We just talked about how important it is to get these casts right underneath, and sure enough, just like that, that's where it is. We catch them every time. California planted rainbow trout. It's a little loud. I'm going to try to speak up here for you. We got a lot of water moving. I'm standing on top of the tributary that feeds into Hatchet right now. We've also found that there are also fish at the very top of this hole. You've seen the guys catch a few out of here. You see that bobber flowing through right there. They're right at the head of this run. Basically right where the bubbly water is. You can see there's right here a little bit of a slot in between all these rocks. And the trout are sitting right in that slot.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh my God! Yeah, baby! Go! Yeah! Woo! And we found the big ones. Check that guy out right there.
Not a bad trout.
A nice trout. Just every once in a while we're seeing them swim right through a big hole, and every time they come in, we're nailing one.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you from Northern California. We're between Redding and Burney, only about 10-15 miles outside the town of Burney, and we're at Hatchet Creek. The reason why we're here, Hatchet Creek is one of those places that a lot of locals fish, and it gets a lot of fish. You're talking about a small section of about 100 yards, probably gets 2,000 to 3,000 trout a year. Now, all of them are rainbows. It's a great place for those of you that live in the greater Redding area to bring your kids. We're going to show you how to take your kids today and use 3 different baits. We use Pautzke Orange Deluxe, we use Pautzke Pink Shrimp, and Pautzke's Red Fireballs. We drifted them under a bobber simply because we wanted to catch and release fish, and doing so allowed us to catch a few dozen fish in 2 hours on a Friday when all the streams like the Pit River, Hatchet Creek, Bomb Lake, Burney Creek, they're all packed. We're the only ones here today. We don't mind giving this place up because it's a put and take only fishery. The state of California stocks this place simply for you to catch them and you to keep them. Now we put them all back, and ironically, this is the first time I'd been here since before 2005. Remember, I'm from California, and I wrote a book, The Definitive Guide to Fishing Northern California. I opened that book and remembered a couple spots that got a lot of fish, and we used the directions from that book. Remember, Moose Camp Road. If you're heading towards Burney from Redding, you make a right on Moose Camp Road. It's only about, less than a half mile. You cross a bridge, and that's your fishing spot. This is a great place for people to come that simply want to have an easy time catching plenty of fish. Now, there's beautiful water. It's crystal clear water in this stream. One thing you got to remember is you want to come here in the spring or early summer. It may get too warm later in the year to stock trout.